Welcome to Season 2 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Krieghoff.
Welcome back to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I'm here with my co-host, Richard Marshall Jr., and we are here today talking to Cole Henning, the 2023 Junior All-American Team Captain, and our friend. Welcome to the show, Cole.
Thank you.
Well, Cole, you have a pretty impressive record for a young shooter. You've won a ton of stuff. Ricky, tell the listeners a little bit about Cole and his shooting career.
A little quick rundown of Cole. Cole's from Iowa. He's a four-time All-American team member, the current junior captain. Let's see, he's got two 200s in singles, 200s in handicap. I think that's one less than Zach, if I remember right. And multiple hundreds in doubles. Cole couldn't remember exactly how many hundreds, but multiple hundreds in the doubles. But he's the 2024 all-around champion at the Southern Grand. He was in 22. He won the Autumn Grand HOA, HAA in the handicap. And then in 23 at the Southern, he won the HOA. So, and then at the 23 Iowa State Shoot, so last year's State Shoot at Iowa, he was the HOA captain. So, or HOA champion, excuse me. So, and that's a pretty impressive feat there at Iowa because they have a lot of awesome.
There's a ton of talent that goes there. Yeah. That place is stacked with good shooters. So
yes, so that's an awesome feat. But at such a young age, and he's already got a pretty good resume going. So we'd like to welcome you to the show, Cole.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, Cole, like I said when we had Rayleigh on here, John wanted us to interview the captains. Congratulations on your captain deal.
Yes.
To get started in the show, were you planning on going for captain this last year? Was that a main goal for you, or did it just happen? Like, how did that permeate into reality for you?
Last year, we decided. I was really close the year prior. I was right behind Mitchell at the end of the year, and so we kind of talked it over, and we're like, with college coming up and not knowing where life would take me, we figured that was probably our best opportunity in a while for me to pursue captain. So we hit up a few extra shoots and put the time in, and it all worked out.
Yeah, I'm glad it did work out. We're proud of you.
That is an awesome feat to be captain. And I know the year prior, Mitchell shot from hit Doan, and he's like, I got to miss the first week of school to try to be captain and go compete against Cole. And I'm like, well, you missed first week of college. That could be a little tough,
Yeah.
I know you guys were neck and neck, and then this year, or this past year, you had an awesome year to obtain being captain. And that is, no matter, like I said, with Rayleigh's deal, no matter what you are open category, it's tough to be captain. There's a lot of shooting involved, a lot of travel, a lot of expense.
So, Cole, going through the year, were you like, hey, I got to get this amount of points per shoot, or did it get more stressful as you were winding down into the Grand, or where were your emotions throughout the year going through that experience?
Going into the year, especially before the summer, with going down to Tucson, down to Florida, a lot of people hadn't really put points up, and I didn't really even know who all was going to be my main competition for captain. So going to those earlier shoots, it was just, shoot as good as I can, put up as many points as I can, and just see where that puts me at. And, we got into the summer, and I looked really good on the points. I went down to the Grand. I knew that could be game-changing for me or anybody else. And I shot great down there. And by the end of the Grand, I had it pretty much sealed up.
That's a really good feeling to have that, it's in the bag, and I think when you're in that captain position, if you're close or not. Like Ricky's called me and he's like, was it between him and Keith Ditto that one year? And he's like, man, we're so close. We're neck and neck, it's just like right there. And then there's some years where you're just ahead of it. I don't remember when, I think it was 2008 or 2009. That's when I did the junior captain just like you did. And I knew going out of the Grand, I had a really good Grand. I'm like, it's a good deal. And that's such a good feeling because going into that, as big as the shoot the Grand is, you don't know. If somebody comes in and just shoots lights out, I mean, they could rack up a few hundred points on top of you, very, very, very easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, who was your competition this year, Cole, or this past year?
Tyler Honnold he was up there with me for most of the summer, I think, going into the Grand, and he had a pretty rough go during prelims, and he shot good at the end of the Grand, but I got enough on him during the prelims that I had it pretty sealed up.
Well,
it's a good feeling.
Yeah, and going with now for all the listeners out there that are just getting into chasing All-American points and stuff, and we'll probably do a separate episode on something like that because it is a big thing.
Yeah.
But the honestly, with the points, as long as you go and break a good score, 98, 99, or 100, top 3 scores, you're going to get points.
Yeah.
It's not always about who's winning the trophy. It's nowadays the way it's set up is breaking a score, so it can be a little tougher at times, but there's more points to be had, I think. And that's why, Zach's was like, we got to shoot every event.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Krieghoff. Me and Ricky both shoot them. We both love them.
Yeah, best gun in the industry. I shoot them. I sell them. Nothing better, folks. Get yourself a Krieghoff. Your scores will increase.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with his. I mean, I've got a few hundreds, but I'm always working to get a little bit better, and they definitely help me, that's for sure. So on top of that, we also got to thank Wenig. I'm wearing the shirt today. Love this shirt. If you're down at the Grand, pick one up.
Yeah, Wenig, like I said, Zach, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my Wenig stock. Get a hold of Bobby, Luke, Bill, get an appointment set up. They will make you a better shooter with that Wenig stock.
Of course, yeah. The Grand's the great place to do it. Give them a call. Get on their book. It's worth your time.
Just remember, winners shoot Wenigs.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So, Cole, it's a great accomplishment. Congratulations on making it happen. Throughout the year, were there certain things that you were specifically working on, or was it just, do the best I can?
I mean, the biggest thing was endurance. So, I mean, just over the summer, just constant shooting, and it's tough to find a break, especially when you're chasing the captain. I mean, just always on the go, always on the road. You don't hardly get any time at home. So that was probably one of the hardest things for me, was just being able to just keep going and shooting as best as I could without burning out.
How many shoots did you do, Cole?
I think it's like 11 shoots I think I had.
Wow. That's in the high target club, bud.
Now, do you remember all the shoots that you went to?
Let's see. I know I had the autumn and the spring in Tucson. I went down and shot the southern in Florida, and then I stayed for the state shoot. And came back, went to Vernal for the Western.
Who doesn't love Vernal?
Shot Minnesota, went down, shot Iowa, shot the AIM and the Grand, and then the Heartland. And I think I'm overlooking one of the...
You didn't go to the Cardinal, did you, last year?
Not this most recent year, no.
Okay.
No, you didn't need it after the Grand you had. You shot great at the Grand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's your plans for this year?
This year, I don't know. We're kind of playing it by ear. I'd like to shoot a lot this summer. I mean, just after the last few years, just shooting so much the summers and whatever, it's kind of the new normal for me, and so I'd kind of hate to give all that up, but I know, like, throughout the winter season, kind of the off season, I've had to back off quite a bit in college, and focusing on that, it's a little bit more involved than high school is. It's a lot easier to just pick up and miss a week of high school than it is to pick up and miss a week of college.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We've got Game Masters. Ricky, you're our guy over there, right?
Yep. I sell every gun you can imagine. We've got a ton of Krieghoffs, every other brand available. So if you guys need something, let us know. We can hook you up with the shoots. We got vendor buildings in Arizona, Ohio, and then Sparta at the Grand American.
Yeah, I do like sucking up that free AC in Sparta, that's for sure. I mean, it's a good time. Come by and say hi to us.
That's right.
Also, Shot Tracker. I mean, we've had great success with them. Ricky, you've been involved since day one, so
it's like having a coach on the end of your barrel. It's a great tool, especially for doubles. That's what I really like it for. You can see the transition moving from the first target to the second target. That's where a lot of people get lost in no man's land, losing that target.
I love that, and I also love the new software update, the stuff that's coming down the pipe. Those guys are constantly innovating. So with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
Where do you go to college?
William Penn.
Okay. And what are you studying?
Studying industrial tech. Not real sure where I'm going to go with that. The main attraction out here for me was the shooting team, and Rayleigh was pretty hard on me, trying to get me to come out here.
And now she went to...
And now she left. Yeah.
That's the thing. They'll draw you in, and then bam, they're gone.
Yeah.
It happens, but it's a good school from what I hear. I mean, you got a pretty decent program, right?
Yeah, the shooting team this last year, a lot changed than how it's been the last couple of years. I mean, they picked up a lot more athletes, so they had to restructure, which good parts and bad parts to that. This year, head coach Steve, he announced that he's going to retire from head coach. Which really that's going to change a lot of things. I don't know what it's going to do, but Steve said that just with his full-time job and everything, it's tough for him to fulfill what he thinks his commitment is to us, and he doesn't like doing
and that's
that.
A good coach to be able to have self-awareness and know what you guys need and what the expectations are, because I think there's some people that take a job on and then they can't do it to their full potential. And if you can't, if you're passionate about people and you want to do it right, you got to do it right. And so I respect that. I think it's a good thing to say, hey, you know what? My heart's not in this right now. I'm not going to perform at my best. I need to take a step back. So good for him for recognizing that. And I'm sure somebody's going to fill the spot, and it's going to be that much better. You're going to have someone else, and they'll come in, and who knows what happens there.
I would say, do they have a replacement yet?
The latest I've heard is that one of the GAs is going to take over, and I think that'd be good because they know how the program has been ran and been structured, and it's been a very successful program like this. Yeah. So I think that'd be good. Steve said that he wants to stay as involved as he can, especially with the coaching side of it, because he's an amazing coach. It was all the behind the scenes stuff that no one really sees, and it was hard for him to stay caught up on all that with his job at Musco.
Yeah, I totally understand. All right, guys, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We got to say big thank you to White Flyer, America's best targets. You make them, we break them, right, Rick?
That's right. We got the new Eco flyer that we helped design, myself and Sean Hawley. That's out now, available out of the Georgia factory. That's an awesome target. Look for that. Going to be available hopefully everywhere by 2025. But yeah, they are best target in the industry.
I'm looking forward to the Blue-Gray Shootout this year at the Grand too. That's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, you're in that too this year, aren't you, Zach?
We both are, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm in it. I didn't know if you made it or not.
See, yeah, that's okay. I skated right in there. Don't you worry. But we got another sponsor we got to thank. Yep. Shotguns West, the Pilas, baby. Check out these wings. Ricky don't got these. He ain't that stylish.
Oh, folks, listen. Zach tries to wear these driving down the road, doing podcasts. It's okay. We still love it.
When you look good, you don't have to apologize. Remember that. Not only can you hit more targets, but you can look good doing it. Give Ryan a call.
That's right.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So, Cole, with your shooting, I mean, you shoot at a very high level. You've won a lot of very major high overalls all over the country. First of all, are you self-taught? Have you taken lessons? And second of all, walk us through your style. Like, what are you doing out there consistently to break targets?
So, I mean, as far as getting to where I am now, it was kind of tough for us because, especially coming into it, we didn't know any extremely successful shooters. Dad's like, we met a couple kids that were on high school teams, and Dad talked to me, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about starting a team?" I said, "This sounds like fun." So we started our little Ike's range. We had 2 trap houses, and I mean, a lot of the older guys out there, they do everything they could to help you, but the the knowledge to get to the top level, I mean, just it wasn't quite there. So, I mean, a lot of it, targets help. I mean, just shooting targets helps, and there's a lot of people that helped me along the way. But I think the biggest thing for me was Phil when I got my pro soft, especially in the handicaps. He what he taught me out there was worth so much.
What were kind of some of the things that he taught you that helped you in handicap that really resonated?
Well, going into it, I took handicaps like singles. The same things further away. And Phil really, I'll say, separated those two for me. He taught me, the differences and that they're by no means the same. Worked with my hold points and my look points and how those are different in handicaps, and just really, I'll almost say, introduced me to a lot better way of shooting handicaps.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, so before you were looking at it as I shoot singles, the target's just farther. I'm going to shoot it exactly the same way, and you were
Yep,
maybe having some
pretty much.
disconnect there, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that weren't connecting.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, let's take a couple seconds and thank a couple more sponsors. First of all, Remington's been with us since day one. I've been shooting these shells since 2007. I shoot the Nitro 27 from the 27-yard line, ounce and eighth, 7.5, and STS ounce and eighth, eighths for singles and doubles. They've worked great for me, as they do a lot of top shooters all around the country. Give them a try. Don't forget the gun club line when you're practicing and you're wanting to save a little bit of money.
We'd also like to thank another sponsor, Outlaw Engineering. Randy Freston, R2. I've known Randy since 1988. They do engineering, surveying, drafting, GIS, civil, structural, land development, wetland permitting. They do it all.
And they're friends of trap shooters. I mean, they're a trap shooting family. They've been in the ATA forever. His dad's been involved. They're involved. They're a beautiful family. They're great people. And we just love that they listen to the show, and we love that they support Trap Talk.
Yeah, his dad was past president in 1989. So I really want to thank those guys for the support. I really appreciate it here at Trap Talk.
With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So what are you doing in singles that's different than handicap? Like, what are the things that you're changing now that have caused you to be more successful?
With handicaps, one thing that really helped me was raising my hold point, especially for, I'll say, if you got the same target for singles and handicaps, I'm going to shoot a little bit higher of a hold point. And Phil taught me, and I'd never really been taught this, but it helps me a lot, even outside of handicaps, just changing your look point compared to your hold point, where you focus your eyes. Yeah. So, I mean, just all disciplines of shooting, even outside of trap, if you can, focus your eyes over to where the target's going to come from, and, be locked onto the target before it even gets to where your hold point is.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're taking a stance of wherever your hold point is in singles, you're bringing it up a little bit in handicap, but then it also sounds like you're bringing your eyes down to the trap house and looking for the house. So it's, more like a Rich Bullard style, or like kind of, you're looking down under the gun, trying to catch that target quickly, peripherally. And then are you allowing it to get on top of the gun, or are you just cutting over and killing it before?
I mean, I'll let it, I'll say, get to my gun, or, harder angles may kind of get on me a little bit, but being able to, I'll say, see and acknowledge that target before it gets to the gun, it really sets you up on the target a lot better.
Just really good vision. So, I mean, I'm breaking that down as you're seeing the targets really well. You're paying attention to what they're doing, and then you're making a move based on what's happening.
Yeah.
So are you not trapping it at all though, whatsoever?
Uh, can you explain that a little more, I guess?
So you're not. Are you? So trapping it. If you're holding high, the
Yeah.
target's coming up. Are you moving the gun, or are you just stopping and spot shooting that target, trying to trap it? You're seeing it come up, and as soon as it gets below your barrel, are you pulling the trigger?
No, I'll stay with the target. I
Stay
mean,
with it. So
even,
you're moving.
even
You're just seeing it under the gun, and as soon as it appears, you see it, and as soon as it comes to the top of the gun, then you start moving through it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes so the trap shooting, like if we're truly trapping, like Bullard truly traps the target. So Bullard has his gun,
Yeah.
10, 15 feet
Bullard-
up above,
Just,
way up, right? And that target's coming up to his barrel, and he just brings his barrel over left and right and lets loose on that shot, and the target runs into his shot pattern. But
Okay.
he's never finishing it with the barrel. Like what you're talking about is matching the speed of the target still, and almost shooting it like me and Ricky do. You're just shooting it from a different spot. You're
Yeah.
you're up, and you're catching it with your eyes, and you're waiting for it to kind of slow down into that
You're
zone
making
before
a
you're
little bit less gun movement.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, less
That-
gun movement, less momentum, less gun movement from that position, and it
Yeah.
works for you. Now, are you in doubles? Are you holding high on that first shot? Or are you down low? Because I know doubles is one of your best events. I mean, you got 200s and singles, and 200s and singles, but we don't know how many doubles hundreds you got. So, I mean, most people have more trouble with the doubles than the singles.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the doubles goes, I'm holding right about where I'm going to break the first target. And it's kind of the same thing. You look down, you see it come up, and I'll trap the first target. I'll see
Yeah.
it coming where it needs to be, and then shoot the first target, and then
You're shooting like a Matt Bartholow style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that Bartholomew style where you're trapping that first bird, you're looking over at the second bird, making a shot. I mean, and there's a lot of people that do that with success, as long as they're able to read the angle of that bird, right? They're able to see the
Yeah.
float. Because I know in Florida, you better pay attention to that float, because that first target does walk a little bit, right?
Yep.
It tends to move a little bit over in Southern Grand occasionally.
Oh, it's salty, but I mean, I love going down there. I love the target. I love the place, the food, the good times we have. I mean, the midnight search and seizures by SWAT
Oh, yeah,
team, but
the midnight,
I mean, it's
sheriff's department stops by. It's great.
it's all good, but it teaches you to pay attention to the birds, right? And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think more people want to shoot like, oh, the target's supposed to be here every single time, and that's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you in the long run.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, Trop Talk listeners, let's take a quick second to thank a couple more amazing sponsors. SOS Clays Shoot Management. They're doing a fantastic job. I love the app. I love being able to see everything on my phone instantaneously. It's freaking awesome. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, Greg Pink and his group over there. I mean, they've got majority of the satellite grands, majority of the state shoots. I think it's 40 plus state shoots they're doing. But the app, honestly, we were doing a little beta testing with that at the Spring Grand. It's awesome. You can see your squad if they paid. You can see your options, your payouts. The whole works at your fingertips. Great deal. They're just
Ricky
killing
knew how
it
much
over there.
money he made before he even got off the line. He was like, hey, I'm buying lunch. I'm like, yeah, good job. We're good to go.
That's
We
right.
also got gun and trophy insurance. I mean, they're the best in the business. I know they're great price. Ricky, you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, Cole and Larry Cushman been long-time supporters of myself, and I've been a supporter of them, and especially with my college team. We require insurance. It's so fast and easy to sign up and get your insurance in literally 10 minutes. You can have your guns insured, and they're just great. They're great to deal with. Like I said, you can do your trophies also, your wildlife animals and that such, and your guns. It's just a great.
It's always good when you're
Great
traveling
luck.
around to have that peace of mind and know that you don't have to worry about losing your stuff forever. And these are expensive things, especially when you got those Krieghoffs. You got to keep them insured. So,
Oh, exactly.
with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
so Cole, when you got started into shooting, what was the primary force to get into ATA heavier? Was it like, hey, I was just local high school shooting, and then you heard of ATA and you jumped in, or what was the thing that made you make that shift and really start shooting a lot?
I mean, that's most of what it was. Started the high school team and started fairly local, and started meeting people from other teams that And Ben Slaughter was the one that I'll say convinced me and helped me convince my parents to start chasing the bigger shoots.
So it's
Because,
Ben's fault.
yeah,
Yeah, get that money, mom and dad. We got to shoot.
yeah,
So having a friend that was said, "Hey man, you got some talent. Let's go get after this," and just motivated you to doing it. It sounds like.
yeah.
And then was there a time when you started doing it and you're like, "Man, I want to do more and more and more," or were you like right off the back hooked, or was it kind of a over time buildup?
I, th- I mean, from the beginning, I definitely wanted everything that was offered for me, but we didn't just jump in head first the first year. I mean,
Yeah,
I played a couple of years with the high school team before we really started chasing points, and so I mean, it was a gradual build up, but I was always hungry for more.
it's
Which is
good to
good.
be. I mean, Rick will tell you, and I agree all the time when he speaks about people that want to do the sport for their own reasons. Like they have their own drive, right, Rick? I mean, we talk about, how important Rick, do you think it is to have drive versus to just be like, oh no, you're going to shoot?
Well, you got to have the drive. Otherwise, you're just out there wasting money down the barrel, no matter
Yeah,
what your goal is. So if you got the drive to become better or to shoot, that's why I see a lot of kids and stuff, if they want to go practice, they're wanting to do good. Otherwise, if they don't want to practice, they're not going to do so good.
Well, yeah, they want to move up the ladder. And like with you, Cole, I've watched you since you started shooting, and every year you've advanced and got better. I mean, your game is getting tighter and better every year, and that's because you're shooting a lot of targets, but you're also wanting to win at the targets you're shooting. You're not just going out there and shooting holes in the sky.
yeah.
That makes a big difference.
All right, folks, let's take a quick second and thank some brand new incoming sponsors of the show. These are personal friends of mine, fellow clay shooters, and lovers of the outdoors, Rick and Carla Burke at 73 Pointers Ranch. Rick, tell them what we're doing.
Well, we're doing a giveaway at the Grand American. So they've graciously donated a one-person hunt for, I think it's, 18 quail or 12 chucker or 8 pheasants. Your choice, guide and dog. We've got dinner, overnight, lodging, breakfast. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great giveaway.
It's a great thing. It's valued at like $1,500. You can obviously bring a guest if you'd like, but it's about an hour out of St. Louis Airport. And if you're lucky, maybe me and Rick will go out there with you and do some bird hunting because this is an awesome place. It's a great time. And if you're local to this area, it's not that far out of the city. So you can be in the office and then be hunting in the afternoon. So they're great, great people, and they love this show. So we really, really appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Rick and Carla. We really appreciate that.
Also, we've got Mid-State Precious Metals, Ron Prescott. He's a great guy for all your gold and silver needs. Ricky, tell them about our friend.
Yeah, Ron, he graciously donated a 10-ounce silver bar to our live in-person podcast in Tucson. And, he has everything. I bought a bunch of silver from him. We got our silver and gold for the fun day at the Nevada State Shoot on Monday this year. John got all the silver and gold for the Nevada State Shoot. So look him up for your silver and gold needs. He'll give you the best price out there.
He really is, and he's a friend of the Trapshooters. I mean, he's looking to get gold and silver to these gun clubs for their shoots at the lowest price across the country. He's doing them a service and helping grow the sport. So, thank you so much for that, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. We appreciate it.
With that being said,
let's get to the show.
So for you now, do you have goals for this next year or the next couple of years, or is it just back it off a little bit and see how it is because you just did this 11 shoot feat?
This year, I don't think we're going to run as hard as we did last year. I know my sister really wants to make the junior team, and my parents are going to do everything they can to get her there. But as far as I go, college has definitely set me back as far as hitting the big ATA shoots.
Yeah.
Just with being, let's say, more committed to college than I was when I was in high school. So, I mean, this year...
Yeah, that's a good thing, Cole. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's sad sometimes, but you gotta focus and build that up because you're going to be able to come back and do it how you want to do it.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, I'd really like to make the team this year, and I think that's a very realistic thing to want. But as far as anything above that, I think we're just gonna have to wait and time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe with your talent, you could make the team as long as you just keep focusing the way you do. I
Yeah.
don't see that as a problem. So I do want to speak a minute on your equipment. You know, we talked about the stock that you use, but we didn't really talk about point of impact because you're shooting a higher hold point when you shoot. Are you shooting a very high point of impact along with that, or is your gun pretty flat, or what would you say as far as where you have your gun set up for you?
I'm running a higher point of impact, probably 80, 90%. And I think I've just kind of worked up to that over time. I don't really know how I got there, to be honest, because when I started, Dad was pretty against shooting a really high gun like that. So when I started, we'd strive for just like a 60-40 and, a little bit higher than center, and that was about it. And just over time, we've just kind of worked it up, and that's where I'm at.
I think
Gotcha.
that's kind of funny that we talked about like striving to not have to shoot that high of a point of impact because I mean, when I hear high point of impact, I automatically go to 150, 200, 250, 300% high. Like I think anywhere between 70, 30 and 90, 10. I mean, it's shooting a little higher than flat, but
Yeah.
it's a trap. It's a trap pattern. I mean, the targets are going up, right?
Good. Yeah.
It's a good pattern for our game. It doesn't seem too high. I personally feel we get into the high zone the way that I swing it and the way that Rick swings it. I mean, 125, 135, 140, 150. I mean, that's some high shooting stuff. But I mean, you move it well, and obviously with your handicaps being as high as they are, you smolder the targets when you hit them. Is what was there anything that you were doing in practice to take your game from that low 90s handicap to that mid to high 90s handicap that you shoot now?
Um, I mean, in practice, it depends on the day. I mean, some days you walk out there and you struggle with something. The next day, it seems like that's the only thing you got figured out. So it's kind of tough, and unless I've got something I'm consistently struggling with, it's tough to find something that I feel is worth just punching out, that station or that target description. But if I'm practicing, I go out there and I miss a hard right. I'll shoot, a box or two, whatever, and I'll work on that target or that station. And so I think what I really focus on in practice is kind of situational rather than
Okay.
kind of always.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, got to take a few more seconds for some shameless plugs. This time we're plugging Trap Talk. We got the hats on.
Right.
Ricky, why are you wearing the same hat as me? It's going all gray. We got hats. We still got some available, right, Rick?
Yeah, we got multiple hats available. We got a big order of hats coming out too. You can get them on the website. John will put the link either up here or down here. Not sure. That's
Somewhere.
up to John. So I gave him both.
Yeah, you never know where he's going to put them. That being said, we love you guys wearing the hats at Trap Shoots. It really shows the support. It shows the love. Take pictures. Tag us on Instagram. Tag us on Facebook. Send us messages of you guys wearing the hats. Wear them proud. And we got a big reveal coming for the Grand. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a place for you to maybe get some merchandise. So more details to come. With that being said,
let's get back to the show. Are you ever shooting any other disciplines as practice like I do? I'll shoot sporting and skeet and such.
Before in college, we shoot a lot of everything.
Oh yeah.
Before this, I mean, I'd shoot skeet and sporting every opportunity I got. I enjoy doing it, and I'd love to do more of it. But it just when it was offered, I'd shoot it, but we wouldn't go out of our way as much for that as we would for trap.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, let's say we definitely shot some of it, just not near as much.
So are you practicing a lot throughout the year, or do you not shoot much practice since you're, shooting all the shoots? Talk to the listeners about that. I mean, is it just you're going one shoot to another?
Yeah, throughout the summer, I mean, especially last year when I'd get a break, I'd try and enjoy having a few days off.
Yeah.
Come home,
Oh yeah.
go see the family or see my buddies or go fishing or just kind of take a little bit of time to relax and get a break. But like the spring and fall, especially when there's not as many big shoots, but still nice out and you still want to shoot, I'll shoot. That's probably when I shoot my most practice.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, when you're doing 11 shoots during the summer, you don't need a bunch of practice. But you get into that fall and spring season, you're trying to get the rust off and tighten up. I mean, and I found that to be true when I was shooting a lot. I didn't want to shoot practice. I wanted to take those weeks in between shoots and not shoot at all. Just give me a week off so that I can kind of just settle down before I get back to it. Now, there are some crazy guys that are shooting practice in between weeks, and I'm like, what the? I mean, I don't know where they get that drive, but
I go shoot sporting glades in between the weeks. Me and Ryan Glow and Zach Bryant, we and Tyler, we shoot on a sporting league also.
Now Elena too, right?
Yeah, Elena said she's looking at it. I'm sure she'll probably come and pole.
Just having a good time. Well, Cole, we appreciate you being on the show. Is there anything you'd like to share with the listeners before we get out of here? Maybe any last closing thoughts or anyone you'd like to thank?
I definitely want to thank my parents, all the financial backing they've done and all the sacrifices they've made to get me and for me to be able to get to where I am now. And I definitely want to thank Phil Sims with ProSoft, everything that he's done to help me outside of providing me with a great stock. All the help and feedback that he's gave me, and prioritizing me when I need help. So I'd love to thank him too.
Well, Cole, we want to say thank you for coming on the show. You've definitely got a great future ahead of you in trap shooting. Yep. It sounds like you're focusing on hitting the books and doing the right things now. We're excited to see the success and continued wins your way.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you this summer.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to him to shooting those big high rolls and high all around scores on me when I'm trying to win. But you know what? He's a good shot. I like that about him, and he's very humble, which is a very, very, very rarity in young people today. We'll see you. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you all next Friday.
And the Trap Talk podcast is brought to you in part by
RM Shooting Clinics. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. If you want to shoot hundreds, give Ricky a call today. Zach Nannini Financial. We believe in putting people first.